The Mavericks look for a win in Mexico City tonight as they take on the Detroit Pistons. They get a big man back to help them out. We'll get you ready for tonight's game. Coming up next on the DLLS Mavs pregame show. Welcome to the DLLS Mavs pregame show powered by Michelob Ultra. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra at 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's a superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. and our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curlo. We are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys, come your favorite team, especially when they play at 9 o'clock, Bobby, in Mexico City. We'll get you ready for tonight's game as the Mavericks take on Detroit basketball in Mexico City tonight.
You think they flew that guy out for the game?
That would be pretty dope if they did, because that's one of my favorite announcements in the NBA is the Detroit basketball announcer for the Pistons. But we'll have some fun tonight as we got a late tip-off, boys and girls, 9 p.m. start time tonight. We got our watch-along as well in our post-game show. Our National NBA insider, Mark Simon, will be joining us at that game and that show as well. Let's get you ready for tonight's game with who's in, who's out, our Mavericks player spotlight as well. But we got a lot to get to. Ron Harrod Jr., how we feeling on the Saturday night?
Feeling good. Mexico City. Wish I was there, but maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Or maybe Macau. Who knows? Bobby Curlo, how we feeling, man?
Happy November, everybody.
Yes, welcome to November.
Hey,
we're gonna make this a great month. All right, we're calling this No Negativity November. Everything is going to be fine.
Well, that's where we're going to leave it at.
Yep, that's it.
That's where you're going to leave it
We're
at.
starting off strong.
No shave November.
That is not true.
That's not true. Bobby is not adhering to that at all.
Although
already.
I might actually go. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, you might go for the no shave November?
Sometimes I go 4 weeks, and I did just shave yesterday. So anything's possible.
We'll see.
Anything's possible. Let's get you ready for tonight's game. November 1st. Welcome to the month of November, boys and girls. 9 p.m. start time tonight. You can only watch this game on Peacock. So if you don't have an account,
you're making me very mad right now.
I'm just letting you know if you want to watch the game
no
live.
Negativity. No, that's fantastic. I love
That's
Peacock.
right. You
Peacock's
already broke
great.
the negativity rule
That's
within
right.
the first 30 seconds.
No, Peacock is great.
So if you want to watch the game, you got to download Peacock
Yeah.
and get yourself ready by 9 o'clock to watch tonight's game, because that's the only place that you can watch the game for tonight. Of course, Mavericks at 2-3 this year, 2-3 off their 5-game homestand. Mavericks technically the home team in tonight's matchup with the Detroit Pistons. That means the Pistons 1-1 away from Detroit so far this year. They're 3-2 overall. Pistons, though, gentlemen, 7.5-point favorite tonight with the over-under at 226.5 for those who are counting Bobby Curlo. Mavericks, of course, 2-3 on the season, 2-1 against the East so far this year. Just completed their 5-game homestand, season-long 5-game homestand at 2-3. They're playing in Mexico City for the first time since December of 2019. Are the Dallas Mavericks? Who
was the second leading scorer that night?
We did this as a trivia question. Seth Curry.
That's right.
Yes,
Good
Seth
job.
Curry.
Good job.
I almost blank.
That's right. And yes, on Telemundo as well, if you're going to be a part of the Spanish watching audience for sure. But yeah, Dallas coming off winning against the Pacers on Wednesday night to get to 2-3. They'll play in Mexico City before they head to Houston, Ron, on Monday. And then they'll come back to play Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Detroit 3-2 on the season, 1-0 against the Western Conference so far this year. They just completed a 3-game homestand themselves as they went 2-1 on that homestand. They're coming off a win against the Orlando Magic on Wednesday night themselves, 135-116, where Kay Cunningham dropped 30 points in that win. Detroit plays 3 of their next 4 on the road after tonight, starting with the Memphis Grizzlies and the suspended John Morant, as we found out earlier today. That gets us to the Corellustrators scouting report as we look ahead to tonight. What are we going to be looking for the Mavericks against Detroit?
Well, that's so true, Kevin. Thank you very much. The Detroit Pistons get a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of them. And offensive rebounds are up across the league. Now, this is not a negative statement. The Mavs are not a good offensive rebounding team. They rank low, which means they got a lot of room for improvement. But the Pistons currently rank 3rd in the league in offensive rebound percentage. They grab 39.1% of their own misses. Now, Jalen Duren, their starting big man, grabs 4.4 of them per game, which is a whole lot, but it's not just him. Asar Thompson and Isaiah Stewart combined for another about 5 offensive rebounds. Paul Reed off the bench gets 1.5. Even Cade Cunningham gets more than 1 second chance per game. And so it's not just like they got one big dude down there grabbing. No, they got everyone crashing. Depending on where you are on the floor, is your guy paying attention or whatever. And so everyone on the team has to mind their P's and Q's. When that ball goes up, you do not watch it. What do you do? What do you do?
You go grit the board.
No, well, yes, you want to go get but you find your guy,
box him out,
stick your butt in his chest, and you back up.
Yeah, box him out.
Yeah.
Get big, get wide, go get the freaking ball.
Yeah.
Now the Mavs this season, they're okay on the defensive glass. They've grabbed 69.3% of available defensive rebounds. They rank 14th in the league, so right around league average. They are 2nd in second chance points allowed, so they don't actually allow teams to score a lot. You think about on this team, whenever a guy gets a rebound, it's usually they're going to try and lay it in over AD or Lively, and that has resulted in a lot of blocks, which is good. But tonight, no Lively. With him on the floor, the Mavs get 84% of available defensive rebounds, which is a mind-boggling number. With him off, just 65.5%. With Anthony Davis on the floor, the Mavs get 72% of available rebounds. With him off, also 65%. Daniel Gafford coming back tonight, which is great, but last season, whenever he was on the floor, the Mavs grabbed only 67% of available rebounds, which was the lowest of any big man on the team. Gafford individually is not a terrific positive. It's positive November. He is a very good defensive rebounder. He struggles on the offensive glass, winning those individual battles. And so the Mavs will have to rally around him. Also, Dwight Powell at this point is not the leaper that he once was. And he's not even Dwight's like, 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah.
So the Mavs will have to rebound by committee. If you're guarding Asar Thompson, you got to box him out. If you're guarding Isaiah Stewart, you got to box him out. Paul Reed, box him out. Cade Cunningham, box out. You got to box out everybody tonight. Otherwise, the Pistons could turn a lot of makes into a lot of extra points.
That gets us to our lead story tonight, and we stick with the Mavericks big men. We found out yesterday from the team that Anthony Davis suffered what was a left calf strain in that first quarter in the win against the Indiana Pacers on Wednesday night, which means, gentlemen, he will miss at least the next 2 games due to that injury. He was averaging almost 21 points per game and over 10 rebounds per contest. In fact, started the season with 4 straight double-doubles to open up the year, and now he will be out for at least the next couple of games. The Mavericks say that they will reevaluate him once their road trip is over, which means they'll reevaluate him, we assume, once they get back and they get ready to play the Pelicans on Wednesday.
What are they calling the injury?
Left calf strain.
Yeah. Low grade
left calf
strain.
strain.
We don't have the grade, but I'm going to assume grade 1. They're saying low grade.
Now, I don't want to alarm anybody or whatever, but the calf is connected to the Achilles. Like, think about Tyrese Halliburton was nursing that calf strain, or I don't know what they actually called it, but whatever it was very serious. He tried to play through it in the finals, ended up obviously suffering a torn Achilles. AD has the Achilles tendinopathy, bilateral thingamajig.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant also had the same thing before, unfortunately tearing his Achilles when he was at the Golden State Warriors.
You want to proceed with caution. You gotta make sure that you get this right.
So the question is then, gentlemen, how much more pressure now is there that falls on this team, as we've talked about, to try to win games without him? We'll get to Daniel Gafford, who is making his return tonight. But, Ron, obviously, this is something that going into the season we've talked about constantly. Anthony Davis has got to be available for this team to win games, and they're already going to be dealing without him for the next couple of games and have been in the business, unfortunately, seeing their big men hurt so far this year.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, who knows when we'll ever see all 3 of these guys on the court. I thought, it'd be game 1, but then we saw, Gafford had the injury first day of training camp. Now Anthony Davis is hurt and Dereck Lively. When Gafford comes back, I really wanted to see the 3 bigs play, and hopefully one of these days, or no, Bobby, by the end of November, we should see all 3.
Yes,
guys
absolutely.
For sure on the court.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that. But
we'll be given thanks for sure.
Yes. But yeah, Anthony Davis will at least be out 2 games, and he'll be reevaluated. Hopefully, from then he'll show some improvement, and maybe he will be on the court. But he will be missing the game again tonight in Mexico City. Anthony Davis at the end of the day is the Mavericks' best player. He sets the tone defensively. He's their leading scorer. Anthony Davis is a really, really good player. You missing him, you're losing a lot on the court, which means that Dwight Powell is going to, I would assume, play pretty heavy minutes. It's going to be very interesting, especially when the Detroit Pistons go with, basically a Sarge Thompson, like a small ball 5 look when they're picking and rolling with him as the Cade Cunningham screener. Tough. So it's going to be tough for, Mavs bigs to be able to guard those kind of actors with that type of athleticism on the court. So I think Daniel Gafford's minutes is going to have to be very impactful because they're going to need his athleticism. I mean, the Pistons have Sarge Thompson, who's a 99th percentile athlete. Ron Holland, who's, went to Duncanville High School, Dallas area native, a top high-level athlete. Isaiah Stewart, a top-level athlete. Jalen Duren, a top-level athlete. You're going to have to, like Bobby said, put your butt on these guys and drive them back. That's one of the first things they taught us in basketball practice, because when you're facing teams that have this much speed, you have to put a body on somebody.
And the Mavericks tonight will not only be dealing with no Anthony Davis, Dereck Lively II will also be out again tonight. So that means Dwight Powell and Daniel Gafford, get your hard hats ready because you're gonna need them tonight.
We seeing Moussa Cisse tonight?
We may.
I wouldn't rule it out.
You know what?
Man.
I wouldn't rule it out.
I mean, you posted the altitude tweet earlier today, and
you need bodies out there.
Yeah, we'll get to that as well because interesting note with them playing in this arena, how the altitude will come into play into tonight's game. Detroit, though, led by Cade Cunningham, averaging over 22 points per game and over 8 assists per contest in 5 games so far this year. Defensively, they're led by the physical Jalen Duren, averaging 14.8 points per game and 10 rebounds per contest so far in 5 games this year. Isaiah Stewart leading them with 2 blocks per game so far as well this year. Mavericks with no AD means they're going to be led by
Tanner Cam.
Whoa. We got some Tanner Cam early on in the pregame show. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Mavericks going to be led by P.J. Washington Jr., averaging over 15 points per game and over 8 rebounds per contest so far this year. That also means Cooper Flagg will be in the spotlight if he wasn't already, obviously, averaging over 13 points per game and over 6 rebounds per contest as well. This is a Pistons team that doesn't shoot the ball all that great. In fact, so far this year, just 20th in the NBA in points per game at 115 points per game. 4th worst field goal percentage so far in the association. As a team, they're shooting just barely above 44%. 19th in three-point percentage at just over 34%, but they can rebound the basketball, as our guy Bobby Krill has already noted. Number 5 in the NBA, averaging 48.6 rebounds per contest so far in the early season. These Mavericks and Pistons are getting together for the first of what is 2 matchups this year, that their second and final meeting taking place on December 18th, and that will take place in Dallas. Dallas and Detroit, though, the split this season series from a year ago at 1 game apiece. Interesting notes about this series. Do you remember the first time these two teams played last year?
I do.
I don't.
Bobby, you want to enlighten us on when they played?
It was the last time the sun shined. Until today.
Yeah.
That's right. The Mavericks and Pistons first played each other last year on January 31st.
Ooh.
You know what happened the next day. That was the night that Cade Cunningham was announced as an all-star and dropped 40 points on the Mavericks. And then we found out the next day.
He wasn't doing a bit.
No, I wasn't doing it.
I thought you were saying that the next day was the night that Cade Cunningham was announced as an all-star.
No.
Who could forget?
That's right. And then, of course, we all know what happened the next day. Yeah. But the Mavericks did win on March 21st early this year with a 123-117 win, as I mentioned, splitting the season series. More on tonight's game. You will hear from Jason Kidd. You will hear from Daniel Gafford, who spoke at shoot-around from earlier today. What the plan will be for Daniel Gafford as he makes his return tonight. And we'll let you know who's in, who's out, and we'll get to our X Factors in our Mavericks Player Spotlight. But before we get there, let's help you win some money when it comes to Prize Picks.
We are going to try, Kevin. We are going to try on Prize Picks. Being right can get you paid, and tonight I'm trying to get paid. This would be 2 in a row for me.
Okay.
And in fact, I think I hit a couple flex plays, so I'm like 4 out of 5 right now. I'm taking Sarge Thompson, more than 22.5 points plus rebounds plus assists.
Okay.
That dude is a stat sheet stuffer. He's averaging 4 assists per game this year, which is pretty alarming because he already gets a bunch of rebounds and scores. Cade Cunningham, more than 19.5 points. He's actually having a down year scoring. He's kind of gotten off to a little bit of a slow start relative to what he ended up doing last year. And then Brandon Williams, more than 9.5 points. A $5 pick would pay me 15 buckaroos, and that's with the flex play. So I can get one of these wrong and still take home some cash. If you download PrizePicks today, use promo code DLLS. Whenever you sign up at prizepicks.com/DLLS, you get $50 in free plays whenever you deposit $5. So you can have a whole bunch of fun and get absolutely, I just spit so much because I am so filthy rich. On PrizePicks, it's good to be right.
Appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on our pregame show. Please like the video while you're here as we get you ready for tonight's game. Again, tip-off at 9 p.m. We will have our watch-along for tonight's contest. So right after our show is done here, leave, come back, and then jump into our watch-along, and we will take you through the entirety of tonight's game. And then we will have our post-game show about 10 or so minutes afterwards. Our National NBA Insider, Mark Stein, will be joining us live here in studio. Interesting note for tonight's game, they're playing in Mexico City, of course. The arena that they're playing in is Arena CDMX. That arena, of course, located in Mexico City, sitting, gentlemen, check this out, 7,350 feet above sea level. So these gentlemen are going to be playing in altitude tonight. Like you said, Kevin, these guys play in Denver. They play in Utah. There's plenty of places where they play in altitude. Now, in Denver, of course, it's 5,280 feet. You're looking at over 7,000.
So 2,000 more.
Yeah, nearly 2,000 more when it comes to the above sea level. Bobby, how does that affect players trying to get used to playing in altitude, especially when it's a short trip in and out?
It makes your lungs feel hot. Yeah. It makes you feel like you're running out of breath. Like it's very tough. And, going up against a Pistons team that, they might not necessarily be running around like the Pacers out there, but they are athletes, and they're very, very, very young. And so you're going to have to be ready to run with them.
And Daniel Gafford's going to make his return tonight.
Tough game to come back in.
Very tough comeback game.
I mean, no conditioning. Like, he didn't even go through training camp. Like, that dude is off the couch into the altitude.
Good. Yeah, man. Goodness.
That lets you know who's in and who's out. We'll start with the visiting Detroit Pistons, if you will. Jaden Ivey, he's out tonight as he continues to recover from his right knee surgery. Marcus Sasser, he was questionable coming into tonight's game as he was dealing with a right hip injury. Daniel Gafford, though, will make his season debut for your Dallas Mavericks tonight after missing the first 5 games with that right ankle sprain. Here is Jason Kidd discussing the plan for Daniel Gafford tonight and what we'll see from the big man in the middle.
15 to 18 minutes. When you talk about his first time playing, he's picked a heck of a place to come back with the altitude. So we have to keep our eye on him. But 15 to 18 minutes is the plan, and we'll see how that goes.
So we'll see how that goes for our Daniel Gafford. You'll hear from him here in just a moment. Shout out to Alex Jawad in the chat. We appreciate you hanging out with us here on the pregame show tonight. Dereck Lively, the second, he remains out with that right knee sprain, which means he misses his 3rd straight game for the Dallas Mavericks. Anthony Davis, as we mentioned, out with that left calf strain. He'll be out at least the next couple of games. It gets reevaluated once they come back. Dallas. D'Angelo Russell popped up on the injury report yesterday with a left knee contusion. He is available and good to go, though, tonight for Dallas as they take on Detroit. Kyrie Irving and Dante Exum remain out. Kyrie Irving, who, of course, is still working back from that ACL. Jason Kidd has some very interesting things to say about the idea of Kyrie Irving and when he could return to play basketball. We'll get more into that in our postgame show tonight with our National NBA Insider, Mark Stein. But Jason Kidd, if you haven't seen already, has some very interesting quotes when it comes to Kyrie Irving potentially coming back. But the focus is going to be on the man in the middle, Daniel Gafford, who makes his return tonight. Here's Daniel Gafford, who spoke to the media earlier today as he prepares for tonight's game about the process of getting back, but also how the hell did he hurt his ankle on the first day of training camp? Here's what Daniel Gafford had to say.
Man, it's been a lot of ups and downs, of course, but all the people that I have around me when it comes to just like the staff, people at home, my wife, everybody, they've been trying to keep me level-headed, honestly. Been itching just to get out there and play. Of course, there's times where you want to rush through the process, but I just got to listen to my body when it comes to those situations. But throughout this course of this month, just been really just working to just get back, trying to make sure I maintain my conditioning, trying to make sure I maintain the strength in my body, and pretty much all of the above, main thing.
How exactly did you sprain your ankle?
I think it was kind of like one of the, it's embarrassing to say, it was like one of the first little drills that we did. I came down on AD's foot. Just bad circumstances, honestly, not even circumstances, just like a bad scenario. Couldn't really control it, just something that, everybody had to just deal with at the time. Of course, it wasn't something that anybody was planning on happening, but as they say, stuff happens, so we just got to get through it.
You feel ready for tonight?
Of course. Yeah, of course. You know, just taking my time. You know. Just taking my time, like I said, you know, it's been just like a one day at a time mentality. You know, I get to a point to where I like really want to make sure I communicate with the training staff and let them know how I feel. That's been like my biggest thing throughout this process because I have been bad at that in any given situation throughout any injuries that I've had. But other than that, that's pretty much it, though.
Daniel Gafford ready to make his return tonight. Gentlemen, they're going to need that size in the middle to deal with a physical Detroit Pistons basketball team. What does Gafford's return mean for this Mavericks team tonight, Ron?
Gafford is huge. Gafford is such a high energy player. He's been throughout his whole career. I think also that's probably why he set out maybe more games than maybe some people might have thought. He's a player that gives full effort on every single play. If you ever sprained an ankle before, not fun. And if you're 70% on that sprained ankle, it's the re-aggravation is also very painful. You need to be as close to 100% as you can. And him being on the minute restriction shows you that he's getting closer to that. I think they're going to need him because Jalen Duren is another one of those athletic, try-hard centers that just do a lot of different things in the court. So they're going to need Daniel Gafford to neutralize him.
And they'll have him. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Mavericks just have to stop hurting each other in camp. I think next year that should be their #1 goal. Don't kick each other. Don't land on each other. Just be nice.
Be positive.
Be positive.
Yes.
Be nice to each other. And also just rebounding. I mean, like we said earlier, like the Pistons are 5th in total rebounds in the NBA. So we're gonna need help on rebounding, and Daniel Gafford will be a part of that effort.
That gets us to our Mavericks player spotlight on tonight, and I'm happy that we're going to focus in on this player, especially for this guy at the very end of the table.
What did I do?
Because our Mavericks player spotlight, gentlemen, focuses on Bobby Carella, the inevitable Dwight Powell tonight.
Let's go.
Dwight Powell
was absolutely fantastic at Wednesday's game with the win over the Indiana Pacers. 18 points, going a career-high 10 of 12 from the free throw line.
So crazy to watch.
And he was at the line a lot. We've never seen Dwight Powell at the free throw line that much, but going 10 to 12 from the line was a team-high plus 12 in his 29 minutes on the floor, and to boot had 6 boards and 2 block shots in that game as well. He's going to continue to see real minutes because the Mavericks' big situation says that Dwight Powell is going to see more minutes on the floor, and in a big spot where they needed him against Indiana, he was able to take advantage of his matchup, Tony Bradley, and be able to work him and be able to get himself in position to help the Mavericks. But Bobby, the thing is, Dwight Powell has always been the consummate professional and took advantage of another stay-ready moment on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Bradley. Dwight was like, dude.
Food.
Like, Dwight was like, all right, we might be down Anthony Davis in this game.
Right.
But Tony Bradley, I'm closer to Anthony Davis than you are to me.
Jesus Christ.
And Dwight just took him behind the woodshed. Now, obviously, Duren and Isaiah Stewart and, even Paul Reed are definitely better athletes and better players than most of the guys that the Mavs are going up against the other night. So it'll be a little tougher. But, in that game, Dwight played virtually all of his minutes without AD, and he played a lot of his minutes with Brandon Williams. So that's a point guard that is a threat to score from anywhere on the floor. That is a threat to score coming off a screen in space. And so they were able to play good old-fashioned pick and roll, and Dwight is still incredible in the pick and roll. Angles of screens, timing, knows when to rescreen, good angle to become an available target, go to the rim, up and under, pump fake, finish strong, go up and dunk it, whatever. Like, he can do all of that stuff still. And so if the Pistons aren't ready to handle that, then Dwight can punish them for sure.
I had a feeling this was going to be the starting lineup. I didn't tweet it out because I didn't have time, but I had a feeling this was going to be the starting lineup because we do have our starters for tonight's game. Remember I told you about that idea of whether or not he was going to start a point guard? Because he was like, it's just got to be
It's got to be Brandon Williams, right?
Hell no.
What?
Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, Klay Thompson, P.J. Washington, and Daniel Gafford. I told you.
You were
D-Lo.
I told you right now.
I don't know what to do
I told
anymore.
you.
D'Angelo Russell, I feel sorry for you at this point.
What did I tell you? The coach said it. We was there. We were there.
What
He
do they
said
have
out
to
loud
do?
that the point guard is going to be Cooper Flagg. It's not going away. He's going to be the PG
Until Kyrie Irving comes back.
Kyrie Irving comes back.
So
And I guess when
unnecessary.
Kyrie Irving comes back, he's, what is he, the small forward, I guess? then?
Who knows?
Well,
At
I
that
mean, I'm
point.
guessing no, that can't
Is
even
he the
be the
two
case
guard?
because when Gafford subs out, it's got to be Dwight unless they
Dwight
go
Powell.
PJ.
Yeah. So Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington Jr., and Daniel Gafford.
Play
are
a
your-
point guard.
I tried to tell
No
you.
negativity November. The numbers are so good with a point guard. I
It's-
would want to do that all the time.
I thought if it was going to be a game, it would be this game. Now, we didn't say it was a lock. We didn't want to lie to you all.
I told you it was a lie. I tried to tell you.
But we said
I
if it
told
was
you.
going to be a game, it would be this game. If it's not this game, I don't think
it's
it
not
happens.
happening. It ain't happening.
My
doesn't
word.
It's not happening. So Cooper Flagg remains your point guard. So there's that. And Daniel Gafford, he gets to start tonight. And yes, somebody before I get to Shahid's super chat, because somebody's like, "Why is Klay Thompson still starting?" I told you that too. He's ceremonial starter at this point. He's going to start games
Yes.
for this
I-
team.
Will he close games?
I would fade that. I'm not in on that. I'm selling all my stock in that.
That he's going to continue to start?
Yes.
Okay.
At least tonight,
Okay.
he's playing small forward, which
That's what he played in the game against Indiana, was small forward.
You know, his feet are edging close and close towards, just really, he just has really slow feet at this point in his career. He can't be a
Who
shooting
of
guard.
these guys
listen-
is he guarding?
Listen to me now. Believe me
I
later
pray
on.
to God not start Thompson.
You go put Christie going to get the Cade Cunningham assignment to
I
start
get
off
well.
with.
I pray to
Clay
God
can
that's
guard. Clay can guard Tobias.
Oh, Tobias.
Yeah.
That's what
I think Clay can. He's strong enough.
Yeah,
to.
he'll guard Tobias.
Yeah, because Christie will
He
get the Cade
has to
Cunningham.
guard
It's
Tobias.
going to be
He has no other option.
yeah, probably Max on Cade.
Yeah.
Coop on Asar.
Duncan Robinson. Well, he's the one that chased Duncan all the game, though.
Max on Duncan. Coop on Cade. Let's go.
Ooh.
I'm hungry.
Okay. But that's your starting five. Flagg, Christie, Thompson, Washington Jr., and Daniel Gafford. 15 to 18 minutes tonight for Daniel Gafford as he makes his return. Shahid with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. Like the video. Pay your rent.
True
Please.
words.
True words of advice. Shout out to Shahid. And yes, I was watching Saturday night's main event on Peacock a little bit earlier as well. Shout out to CM Punk, new World Heavyweight Champion, and Jade Cargill, new Women's Champion as well. X Factors for tonight. Bobby has no idea.
I thought the champion was John Cena versus that other guy.
That was at SummerSlam. That was John Cena versus
In July.
Cody Rhodes in August.
That's over now?
Yeah, that was in August. It was in August. You're a
I
little
thought
late.
he was retiring.
He is in December.
In December.
I'll catch you up
Okay.
later. Don't
All
worry.
right.
I'll catch you up later.
Well, you probably won't.
Okay.
Shout out the baby pig at the bottom.
X Factors for tonight's game. Yes, Velveteen Vision. Ceremonial starter is sad, but that's what it is. That's
You
what it
messed
is.
up.
X Factors for tonight's game. Keep the Pistons off the glass. We talked a lot about the rebounding for Detroit going into tonight's game. Detroit second in the NBA in collecting offensive rebounds, getting over 15 boards per contest. Mavericks just 14th in defensive rebounding percentage so far this year. Got to keep the Pistons off the offensive glass. They will punish you there, which gets us to our second one on tonight. You can't allow second chance opportunities for Detroit. Detroit so far this year, 5th in the NBA in second chance points, scoring 19 second chance points per game so far this year. So they can offensive rebound and they can capitalize when they get the chances for second chance opportunities. So you got to keep them off this. And gentlemen, I think you'll love this one for the last one for our X Factor, because you two are hustle guys. Do the little things, do all the right things to make your team better and to help your team win, right?
Yep.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Dallas has to win the hustle plays tonight. Detroit so far this year, 7th in loose balls recovered this season.
Oof.
Dallas just 20th in that department in 5 games. So you got to dive on the floor, got to get after the basketball. You got to do all the little things tonight, because this team obviously is shorthanded and refuses to start a point guard. So we'll see what happens there.
I just don't want that to happen.
The point guard situation.
I want a point. I think you should play a point guard.
I think we
I just
all
think you
believe
should.
I think we all
they should
believe
play
that.
the point guard.
I think you should. It's one of the 5 positions.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be.
When James Naismith invented this great game, he was like, "You got a point guard."
That's
Yeah,
kind of the
I
idea.
mean, look,
You would
I never
think.
thought I'd be capping for D'Angelo Russell, even calling for him to get more minutes. But somehow we've come here, Mavericks fans.
What if the 2011 Mavs were like, you know what? Let's be a defensive team. Let's start Brian Cardinal at point guard.
While the Hall of Famer's sitting on the bench over there just collecting dust, while Brian Cardinal would be the starting point guard.
Let's get Deshaun Stevenson some playmaking reps.
Yeah,
Sean
Oh,
Marion, he's
Jesus.
versatile.
yeah.
Let's let him bring it up
he
the
was
court.
versatile for sure. That'll do it for us here on the DLLS Mavs pregame show. Again, if you're watching tonight's game exclusively on Peacock, And for the Spanish-speaking audience, that will be on Telemundo if you're going to be watching that game. So make sure you join us for our watch-along, which will be happening here in about 5 minutes. So leave this video, hop in, and we'll be ready for our Maverick DLLS
Ron's
Mavs
first watch-along.
Watch-along, our first watch-along of the season.
Watch me the taco.
We'll give you the watch-along lore right
That's
off
right.
the top of the show. Expect some weird stuff tonight.
Appreciate our guy Tanner making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. That's our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curl. That's our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. My name is Kevin Gray. We will talk to you in about 5 minutes for our DLLS Mavs Mavericks Pistons watch along right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.